Before the 100 members of the crew board the fast ferry for actual training on board the ship, they'll spend hours in the classroom learning how to deal with emergencies. Outside at Rochester's public safety training facility, they also learn how to use fire extinguishers to put out a small simulated fire. And they learn to overcome their fear of fire.
And now they've got a certain respect for it and a little more comfort with the equipment and the training so that in an emergency they could act properly.
News 10 NBC photographer Mike Ollendorff, a Henrietta volunteer firefighter, donned his own protective gear and with a smaller handheld camera went inside with his class. They were brought face to face with a much larger fire. Fire extinguishers would not help here. The crew members had to use fire hoses to battle the flames. Again, a simulated controlled fire, but still an inferno to inexperienced trainees. Intense heat and thick smoke and breathing using air tanks. From mascara to masks. Some of the women crew members who will be food servers and cashiers aboard the ferry joked about that today.
My life and everybody that's in training with me today is going to be on that ship, and I want to be able to trust them like they can trust me.
There isn't going to be a handful of firefighters and a handful of EMT on board. We are the lifesavers. We're the people there that are going to help out all the passengers if they get in trouble.
The training impressed a veteran ski patrol member used to dealing with emergencies.
In that field, repetition breeds competence. And having actual hands-on experience, I think, will make the difference, because you're not afraid to pull a fire extinguisher, you're not afraid to walk into flames now. So it's more training than I thought we were going to get.
The ferry does have fire pumps and fire stations aboard, as well as sprinklers and a separate fire suppression system for the vehicle deck.
I give them a lot of credit for having very little, if any, background in this coming into it. They're doing a fine job in a very short period of time.
Crew members are also training for personal survival techniques in the swimming pool at MCC.
The security is tight in and around the fast ferry. Every time it enters or leaves port, it's escorted by the Coast Guard. Passengers need several forms of ID, and the ferry website reminds them it's their responsibility. But now the rules are getting tougher.
People will be subject to random searches.
Really? Today, we went to Buffalo, Coast Guard headquarters. Lieutenant Commander Kevin Burke and his crew will enforce the new security rules. One being that ships under a foreign flag need to be inspected every time they return to a U.S. port. The ferry is under the flag of the Bahamas.
It will be boarded. Not every time will it have to be boarded and inspected, but the personnel or the passengers will, they'll be subject to random searches.
The Coast Guard says there are fewer foreign ships coming here to Buffalo. In fact, as an international port, Rochester is just as busy now with the fast ferry and the cement boat from Canada.
The new Maritime Transportation Security Act says each foreign flag ship must have a security officer, an alarm system, restricted bridge and engine areas, a method to check passenger IDs, and a certificate of compliance from the country that flags the ship. The Coast Guard says the fast ferry complies with the law and has for several months. Passengers, therefore, should not notice much of a difference. But if the terror threat increases, so does the security.
We all have a piece of it, and everybody's working towards the same goal of protecting the waterfront and making it a safe place for people.
The Coast Guard says details about the security plans for the ferry are classified.
Crew Chief number 6, A.J. Fratto from Geneva, New York.
This hometown hero is honored to be a Blue Angel. Crew Chief number 6, A.J. Fratto, has been part of the team for 2 years.
I'm in charge of the overall looks of the jet. I run up the engines, check the mission computers, plot navigation, just all the feel-good stuff, make sure everything's good to go.
Flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo from Kirkland, Washington, Lieutenant Commander Craig Olson.
Fratto makes sure the panels are buttoned down, that the switches are in their appropriate positions, the pilot's safety gear is stowed and clipped into place.
Your fellow team members critique you every day. Everything is under the camera eye, and we're very critical of each other because we want to be the best at what we do.
And when everything's inspected, Fratto gives his pilot the signals that it's good to go, and only then will the show go on. The Blue Angels put on over 70 air shows across the country, running from March until mid-November. For Fratto's family, seeing the air show here in Rochester is a memorable one.
We see the show every Tuesday and Wednesday because they have practices and stuff at home, but this is the first actual air show we've been to. And it's amazing to see all these people come to see them because we're so used to it.
He's jets are filled with over 10,000 gallons of fuel. Prado says it doesn't take long to burn all that fuel.
The way these guys rock the boat, couple of hours.
And when the show's over, the Blue Angels prepare to head to another city.
Constantly training every day, and you're always on your toes. There's no room on this team to become complacent.
This is the best sport in the world. This is the passion. This is what keeps me going most of the time, man. This is soccer. Rhinos, Rhinos, we love you! Everywhere we follow you! We love the Rhinos because they're our local team. I mean, come on. They're the most important team to us. I mean, some of us might like teams overseas, but this is our main team right here. Yeah, Billy! Nice clear, Billy. Nice clear. Nice clear. Billy! They're brilliant. I mean, they're a brilliant team. They've had their ups and downs, but they're a brilliant team. And they're my home team. Rochester is the soccer town.
It's an hour 20-minute drive for me, and you know what? It's worth every minute for me. It takes someone who loves the sport, someone who wants to give everything they have, even when in the stands for 90 minutes. That's what it takes in the field. That's what it takes in the stands. 90 minutes of being loud, being committed.
Royal gold, baby!
This is their home. This is their pride. Okay, the Rhinos, they are the pride of Rochester. There's nothing better.
We want to just make the loudest sound, the best sound, and we want to have a group feeling, and we want to be as loud as we can be.